Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. It is early Saturday morning. Laura's in the kitchen making some brunch. We got up with the anticipation of watching the 7:30 Eastern Standard Time soccer game on the English Premier League, but for some reason FanDuel did not allow betting on this game. So, putzing around, looking at my trees, I'm thinking that I'm going to prune up my pineapple guava trees. I have forest planting and then two specimen. They're very young, grown from seed, but they're starting to get somewhere. Anyways, I have done really well since the English Premier League has come back with my FanDuel betting. I'll attach some of my big wins here. So, anyways, I'm fortunate to be able to watch my favorite sport, my favorite players, and make a little extra cash on the side. So, Laura just ordered me a new like GoPro like camera that had really great reviews on Amazon. So I'm expecting that in a couple of days. So I guess I never spend money on myself. So I guess taking a little money to put back into this channel to make it better for me and for you. I'll be able to take it out on the water now to do paddle boarding and all sorts of different stuff. So I'm really excited when that comes in. I'll do a little unboxing. But for now, let's get to that pineapple guava. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. Maybe the lighting isn't best for right now, and I don't typically do this stuff this early in the morning, but here we are. So if there's a shadow or you're not seeing it, these have really nice small elliptical leaves, and they're shiny. And that when they come in, they're like a brighter yellow green, and then as they age, they get to be a dark shiny green. But they're, I think, perfect for bonsai eventually. This little guy, it's like a shohin. This dries out a lot, and it's dry right now. So I water this 2 or 3 times, but I do this one. So actually in this pot here, this little green one, there are 2 trees. So maybe that's why this thing dries out, because it has double the roots. But it's coming together. I got a little, I believe it's rose quartz in here, a little nice gemstone in there, and then a little turtle figurine. So this is one of my favorite plantings. It's just cool. So it has come up. I've pruned it. It split into 2, and then I pruned it, and it split into 2, and another 2, and then this one has just split the 1 time. So we're probably going to divide. I'll bring this back to here, leaving 2 leaves on that branch, and then same thing with this. I'm going to do the same with this. They grow back really quickly, and they're very forgiving with the pruning. So I leave room for dieback, but it doesn't seem actually to affect them. They don't have too much dieback, so I'll prune off last time's dead wood, and I'll allow these to kind of do their thing to make sure that they don't affect the new growth. So I'm not going to try these as cuttings. There's just no reason to. I have enough trees, but I'm sure with them being like semi-soft wood, they would do fine as a cutting. Man, I am so happy the English Premier League is back on. It's insane. The way I have my schedule set up, I get up and I start work at 5 a.m., but then I'm done. So having soccer games here that are being played at night or afternoon in England, but they're early afternoon here, it's really cool because you don't have to wait for nighttime, because I end up falling asleep before it's dark. I don't need to bet on games to enjoy them. It just makes it more fun. I really enjoy like the mathematical slash psychological side of the FanDuel betting system, so I think that's where I'm successful. I went for my undergrad in business management, but when I went back for my master's, I decided to go for psychology to better help my clients, and it made all the difference in the world. So I went from just teaching fitness and nutrition to being able to, deal with the mental aspect that plays a big role with everything. All right, so this is an old ashtray that I got from a thrift store. Put some holes in it with a drill, like a little, drill bit. I had to, when you drill through things like this, make sure you're running water on top of it, because that dust gets into the air, gets into your lungs. You don't want that. It also helps with drilling. This one, I think I got it on my birthday trip to the New England Bonsai Society or something like that, but I love this little pot. I just have to clean up right here. Oh, turtle overboard. Right here, for some reason, water on the ceramic, it builds up this little nastiness. So I'll just take a little steel wool to that or something and clean that up. All right, so last one, this is my forest planting. So this was in Laura and my bedroom, and that's western facing, so it doesn't get the most sun. And when my grandkitty Bean came, we had to remove all plants that weren't hanging high enough for her to get to. So this one was on a little tabletop, so we put it in the hallway. And all the trees that weren't facing where the sun comes in there, they died. So I want to clip those out. I'm not going to pull them out because the roots are probably intertwined with the other ones. So I'll do that, and then I'll do an old Nigel Saunders recommendation, is do a profile prune going across the top. I don't know what I want this to turn into, but it's almost like cool to have a house plant that's actually a bunch of trees, and nobody would know it unless you told them. Because people don't pay attention, they just see a house plant. They don't, unless you're a tree person or a plant person, the questions don't even get asked. I mean, if I actually had people over here to visit, they would be like, wow, you have like 3,000 trees inside and then even more outside. That's weird. But they wouldn't like walk up to this and be like, oh, is that a pineapple guava tree? Like, who would even think of that? Back up a little bit. All right. So this thing is, the ones that survived have really grown well. I have it now in an eastern facing window right next to my Dilonix regia, which is the prized house tree. So it's a good spot in the window. So it must be playing a part in this muscular growth. I started saying muscular growth instead of vigorous because I don't want to bite off a Nigel Saunders like line, like he says vigorous. So now I say muscular. It's fitting, being that I started as a personal trainer, right? So, just going across the top here, making sure I'm leaving some leaves on whatever branch I'm pruning. But I'm not like thinking about it. It's just everything gets the same height, same length. Cool. So these leaves will probably like crisp up, and I'll get new green growth coming off, and then I'll just pop these off and defoliate the old growth. But for now, I'll leave it so it can gather energy to repair it and kick off the new nodes. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Early Saturday morning. I guess we're going to be very active today since there's no more soccer on. But, hope y'all are staying healthy and active, practicing social distancing so this thing can just freaking pass and we can move on with our lives. From me and mine at the ranch, I hope you're doing well. Take care, y'all.